Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Shenandoah Motorsport Park. We're here for the practice day Friday, July the 1st, 2011, and we're getting ready for the second and third round of the Canadian Superbike Championships by Parts Canada. You know, in the world of motorcycle racing, there's probably no one more famous than the Doctor. I talk, of course, of Valentino Rossi. Well, here in Canada, we also have a Doctor, probably one of the most popular riders in our paddock. My pleasure to welcome this morning Dr. Steve Walker. Welcome, Steve. Great to have you on CSBK TV.
Oh, thank you very much, Frank. It's a pleasure to be here.
My intent, of course, was to speak about safety, because you're so involved in rider safety and track safety as well.
Yeah, well, that's sort of been my, obviously my professional interest for a number of years, and certainly around the racetrack, that's my interest. Both in helping out the racers after they've fallen down, and I've been working a bit with the organizations to try to improve racetrack safety as well.
You know, before we started, Steve, of course, I introduced you to our director, Judah Purcell, and you described what you do now. There are some viewers that aren't familiar with what you do on Monday mornings.
Okay, well, Monday morning, I get out of my leathers and I put on my regular clothes, and I have a family practice in Carleton Place, Ontario, and I also work as an emergency room doctor at Carleton Place Hospital. And you know, do that, I have an emergency shift probably about, 3 nights a month, and then do the rest of my job every other day.
Let's talk about rider safety for a moment, Steve. And one of the things I've commented on is when I first started in motorcycle racing, and indeed in announcing what have you, there was a time when you could go up to the rider and pat him on the back, and you could feel his back.
Oh, not
you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes. Well, not anymore. It's pretty well mandatory now at organizations such as ours, and I think everywhere where I race, where a spine protector is absolutely mandatory. You get that on before you get your leathers on. I wouldn't hit the racetrack without it.
It's so much more than that, though, Steve. You guys are dressed like gladiators now. There's hard plastic protection virtually everywhere, leather.
Oh, we've got everything. I wear a spine protector, shoulder protectors, we have elbow protectors, we have knee protectors, we're covered head to toe in leathers, my boots are made of carbon fiber, my gloves have carbon fiber and high density plastics, and then our helmets. We're pretty well protected in case something happens.
That's rider protection. Now on Wednesday night, of course, we saw the CSBK air fence crew out there setting up our air fence, so we've got some very soft barriers and some very high impact zones.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of the racetrack safety around here really stems from design of racetrack. The perfect racetrack would not have any barriers anywhere, but we don't have that much acreage here. So certainly you see the guys out there putting in the soft barriers. So in case of something goes wrong, we're not going to hit something hard. We're going to drop into something soft.
But as always, there's room for improvement.
Oh, there always is.
Where do you see room for improvement, particularly at racetracks?
Well, I think the racetracks that we have to race at, we're a little limited here in Canada that we don't have an infinite number of racetracks to race at. I think really pushing and promoting more use of soft barriers, more use of air fencing. I think we really as riders have to sort of get together and give some input as to what we feel some deficiencies in the racetracks we have. Certainly in the equipment, we got to make sure you have the best helmet money can buy, you've got the best protective gear money can buy, you've got the grippiest tires money can buy, and we have to make sure that we're in good shape and ready to do what we do.
And just a quick one in closing, Steve. This just came to me. We're talking about rider protective equipment and what have you. The riders are so well protected now that most often, when they have a crash, they get up and walk over to the motorcycle and curse and whatever.
Yes.
Do you think that this protective equipment perhaps has made our riders too brave?
I don't think so. I think you certainly look at not just the motorcycle equipment that we wear, but the motorcycles themselves. I mean, we're pushing close to 190 horsepower on the superbikes. We have tires that will grip infinitely better than what the tires of 10 years ago will grip. And also you look at the athletes that are racing, the upper guys, these guys are top level athletes that can compete in any sport. So no, I think it's just brought the game up that much higher.
And of course he wears a traditional career number 78. Oh yes, great stuff. Steve, we're looking forward to seeing you out on the racetrack. Be careful out there, won't you?
I will, I promise.
Steve Walker on CSBK TV.